Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question. All right. I think we are officially live. All right. Sweet. Okay. So hi, everyone. I think if you're watching this, you're on my page, so y'all know who I am. I'm Kylene Terhune, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and recent cancer survivor. I think that's the only time I've ever actually said that out loud, which is kind of an interesting. But yes.
How does that feel?
Yeah, good. 4 months technically in remission, so I'm pretty happy about it. And this is Dr. Heather Paulson. She's a naturopathic doctor who specializes in integrative oncology. And she is the doctor that I use to take my integrative approach to my Hodgkin's treatment. And I cannot tell you how valuable the sessions that we had, the information that she provided, the support through the process, and just knowing that I could pick her brain in between chemo sessions and we could tweak things depending on how I felt, how valuable that was for me. So when I got an email recently that said she was coming out with a program that could help tons of people at the same time with information that she shared with me, I freaked out and I'm so excited. So I was like, let's promote it to everyone possible and let the world know. So,
I'm so grateful that you freaked out.
But you know, when you're faced with something that is quite literally life-threatening, mm-hmm. and it's really like the scariest thing you're ever going to have to face, because you see so many people going through it, and I still do. I'm in Facebook groups, where people are diagnosed and going through treatment. There are so many scary side effects, and you feel just horrible. And I was like, man, I know I'm going into it healthy. I know that my treatment is only 3 months, but I also know that I'm going to feel like crap. And so anything that I could do to avoid that, I was going to do it. And so I reached out, to the Mindshare community. Let's just give them a little shout out because they're pretty awesome. And I was like, who do I need on my team? And they all tagged you. And so I reached out. And it was the best decision I made. So I see so many people going through this process and not having the support, and it blows my mind because I feel like this should be standard of care.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100% agreed. And that's where I started. I started as part of a cancer center in a hospital, and I was part of, every patient had the opportunity to utilize naturopathic oncology alongside their conventional treatments, their chemo, their radiation and surgery. And you could walk through the infusion room, the chemo room, and tell which ones were following up with a naturopath and which ones weren't using our services. It was just night and day, their experience with chemo.
Yeah. I think it was kind of funny because, my doctor's kind of tight-lipped. She's super nice. I really like her a lot. But I think she doesn't always want to get like super excited about anything or like, let too much out about how she's feeling about something. But this last time, I went a couple times. I went after a CT scan. I went after a PET scan the past couple weeks as we were just following up. And she was asking me, do you have this symptom? 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 And I said, no. And she almost looked surprised that I was doing so well. And she did make one comment. And again, she's kind of, she doesn't want to say too much, but she was like, wow, fast recovery, because I'm like back to normal. I've been working out for 3 months. I'm gaining strength, probably at the point or beyond where I was before treatment. And, I don't have neuropathy. I don't have all these things that a lot of people struggle with. And my cycles actually have been pretty much on time and regular. So my hormones kind of regulated after treatment. It's just, it's crazy. And what I'm finding is that's not normal when you don't do what we did. So
I'm literally getting chills right now listening to you say that. And I remember one of our conversations before you started treatment. I hope you don't mind me sharing, but we're on your platform and everything. But I remember talking to you about another patient that I supported with Hodgkin's and saying, she got pregnant naturally just a couple years after her Hodgkin's treatment because we were able to protect her ovaries and protect her heart. And she didn't have to, dip into some of the other things too that happen. And just like hearing that your hormones are rebounding and stuff, that like gives me chills because I just can see the future. I'm just so excited that you're doing well.
Super exciting. And what's so funny to me specifically about hormones is that I struggled for the longest time. Like that was my primary goal since like 2015. And then I ended up kind of getting into gut health and stuff. But that the path that got me there was trying to fix my hormones. And it was so funny because before I went through treatment, I would have like cycles that just were so inconsistent. Some were long and some, I was like trying really hard to get them on track. And sometimes it was better than others. And I made a lot of progress. But then what blew my mind was that like going through treatment, now they're all like pretty much regular. And I'm like, what? How does that even happen? Like, I would not expect that, but kind of surprised me. But we did a lot. We did a lot of work during. We're still doing a lot of work after. So we are taking action right now to support my hormones, to keep them on track, and I was kind of low in several of them. So we're trying to support that and bring everything back up where it should be. We're working on we're doing all these things that I think people need to know about. They need to know about it. So let's talk about your program. So I want to ask this question, and I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it to you. I want to hear your answer. Is it possible to go through chemo and feel good?
100%. 100%. And the funny thing is that so I've been doing naturopathic oncology care for almost 13 years now. And that's not including the amount of time that I did it while in school as well, focusing on cancer care. So around 17 years, I've been supporting people with cancer. And I didn't know that people didn't know that this was possible because it's what I see in my office all day long. And as much as hearing you share your experience gives me chills, it's not unusual in my office. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, so you're going to do chemo. All right, so this is what we're going to do, and we'll get you through this, and you'll be fine. Which I had to get into. I actually had to get face-to-face and ear-to-ear with JJ Virgin, who, if you guys know her, she's a New York Times bestselling author and really great at helping people lose weight. And she's like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that people can be healthy during chemo? And I'm like, yeah, duh. Like, that is totally possible. And she just looked at me and she's just like, no, that's like a superpower. That's not how people experience their cancer. And I'm just like, what do you mean? I mean, like, no, I want people to help like get their cancer gone. Not even realizing that, not having neuropathy, I'm with you guys. I'm with you focusing on the big picture of like, what does your life look like after chemotherapy? Yeah. What does your family look like? How are you going to function in your job? How are you going to bring your gifts to the world and continue to be an active part of the world? I am like in the trenches with you on that long-term goal. And I wasn't even recognizing that the wins we were having within chemo were abnormal.
That's so crazy. I mean, and having experienced it myself now, it really breaks my heart when I see Instagram posts of girls, around my age that went through treatment for Hodgkin's, maybe had followed up with radiation, maybe had more than I did or whatever, and then didn't have any support during or after. And now they're living with a laundry list of long-term complications. Mm-hmm. And it's devastating to me. And having gone through doing both, so going through the traditional conventional way and also supporting my body, I was able to negate a lot of these things to avoid long-term side effects, but then also see how if I hadn't worked with you, none of that would have been possible, because when I'm done, basically it's, okay, we're going to check you in 3 months. There's no hormone support. There's no gut support. There's no immune system support. There's no, cell recovery. I mean, all these things, your body just went through like the most trauma that it could possibly go through. And it's just like, okay, go fix itself, and just hope it
Yeah, I call that post-cancer whiplash.
yeah.
Because I experienced that really hardcore. When I was 25, my loved one, Phil, was diagnosed with lymphoma. And that is part of why I do this. We were living together. We had been dating for many years prior to his diagnosis. We've been married, so I was in the thick of it. Just like you were experiencing and with your husband too, and he being, your main support. And it was a lot to take on at that age, but the same thing, we saw the same thing as just people not getting through chemo healthfully. Luckily, I was in my first year of naturopathic medical school and had a ton of resources at my fingertips, had some doctors that I could connect with, and we got to see the power of naturopathic oncology using natural medicine alongside conventional treatment, and how that really saved his body. I mean, if you were to run into him on the street now, you would never know he had a cancer history. And in fact, he doesn't even talk about it because people don't know, and they wouldn't know. And he has no long-term side effects. He went back to work right away, recovered quickly. So again, that was just part of what I thought people could and should and did experience with chemo. And the cancer whiplash hit hard because when you're done, they're like, okay, bye. And I was like, wait a second, but you talk to us like every 3 weeks and then did blood work, and like now you're not going to talk to us for 3 months. Like, are you sure that's okay? Can I really take him home by myself?
Right.
It's scary.
You have a long road of recovery after that. I just kind of want to encourage people while we're talking about this too is, to take this sort of approach. It does take commitment, and it does take some out-of-pocket investment and time and money on your part. But when you think about literally the rest of your life and the rest of your medical bills and avoiding things that will impact your ability to function well, to work well, to be present with your family, to live the life that you want to live, you're saving so much money in the long run. Like, just throw money at it when you can to do it right the first time. And that was kind of our approach, to be honest. We were like, what does it take? I will do whatever it takes, because I never wanted to do this again. I never, ever, ever want to do this again. And so it is a little bit of an investment, but you've helped people out with that too. So let's talk about your program.
Yeah.
This is like insane. When I saw your email, I was like, how in the world is she giving this away? Literally, you're giving this away. Like, I can't even. So really excited about it. So what's the name, first of all?
Naturally Better with Chemo.
Okay. And so how is this going to be delivered? This is an online program that people...
It's an online program. And this first time, so I have developed this content. I've developed this information over the past 17 plus years. And we're going to be going through it together as a group this very first time. I'm going to be doing it live.
I signed up. I'm going to be at it.
Signed up.
I'm super pumped. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm going to be going through this information live. And this is probably, you can never guarantee anything, but I think that this is the only time that I'm going to be doing this live, because there's no way for $47 I can really do this live over and over again. But I am excited to be doing it live this time and answering people's questions this time and providing more support. And as being part of the live group, then you guys get to give me feedback too and let me know what information is missing. And I'm going to be working my little tail off behind the scenes to get the missing information to you, or the gaps filled for you, so that you have a really complete support. And I had to do something, when I was talking with some friends and with JJ, it's like, I know how hard it is to scrape together finances for this kind of care. When Phil was going through his treatment, we were blessed because, and you too, because we get wholesale prices on supplements. Because I was a medical student, I got wholesale prices on supplements. A lot of the naturopathic physicians that we're seeing gave me professional courtesy discounts and really helped us because we were doing it all on student loans, and that kind of a budget. And it breaks my heart to see so many people still struggling. And I've talked to so many people who are like, I want your help. I need your help. I can't afford it. I can't budget for it. Yeah. And I never went into this for, for fancy things or making a ton of money. I went into this because I've experienced the heartbreak of cancer. My dad died of colon cancer. I went to medical school. My loved one, Phil, my husband, gets diagnosed with lymphoma. I'm definitely specializing in cancer care. There is not even a thought about dollar signs in my mind. And it feels so good to be able to help people and have it not impact their budget.
Yeah. I mean, that's, like I said, I got the email. I was like, how in the world? $47? I mean, there's so much value. And the fact that you're going to be doing it live and people have access to you for that amount of money, like that's just crazy. It's so worth every penny. I can tell you already. I haven't even done it yet. I'm going to show up. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to learn more from you. So here's the question that some people might be wondering. Does it matter what cancer you have? Would this program work across the board?
It does not matter what cancer you have. I've had a couple of people ask me if they're done with chemo, does this program fit them? You can definitely learn some information. I'm sure some of the side effects that we're going to cover for different types of chemotherapy, you can still apply those nutrients to your current side effects and see if it moves the needle on those long-term side effects that you're experiencing. But it's not specifically designed for people who are done with chemo. Again, please join us, ask questions. I would love to have you in there, learn some stuff. But it's really designed for people prepping for chemotherapy or currently on chemotherapy to just support their bodies through that process.
Yeah, because there are general side effects that a lot of the chemotherapy drugs can cause. And what you're really wanting to do is give the body the nutrients that it needs to still allow the medication to work, but protect your body and your organs from the damage that they can cause, the negative side effects. Is that right?
Exactly. And there's well-documented research studies on the types of nutrients different chemotherapies deplete from the body. And sometimes I want to hit my head against the wall a little bit and be like, why? I mean, why aren't we just doing an IV of magnesium right after Taxol or Taxotere? I mean, the magnesium depletion is very evident in the research studies. And some really progressive medical oncologists do order IV magnesium right after Taxol or Taxotere, but I think it's probably like 2% of, I don't know, I'm making up a number. I don't mean to make up things, but I don't think it's very many medical oncologists that are doing that. And so it's simple things like magnesium is not an expensive nutrient. It's like $15 for a 30 to 60 day supply. And it makes a huge difference in muscle fatigue, neuropathy, protecting the kidneys. It's just so important during chemo. And we're going to talk about, so this is the kind of stuff we're going to talk about is what is important when and why it's important.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so I went into it, obviously already having a history of focusing on my own and my clients' gut health. And I knew that chemo like totally trashes your gut because, fast dividing cells, it gets rid of your hair, it gets rid of your gut lining.
Right.
And so I was like, man, what are we going to do to support this? And we were completely able to go through this whole process. And, it's not perfect. Everything, you're going to feel tired. You're going to get maybe a little nausea here and there and all this kind of stuff. But a lot of people experience like chronic constipation because of the medications and all these kinds of things. And we were really, really able to quite successfully navigate a lot of that. And I really came out of it feeling like we protected my gut really, really well. And so then in between treatments even, because it would like get damaged with the treatment, I'd be able to kind of feel, build it back up. get damaged, build it back up. So there is this process that we were able to do though to help my body get through it. And then by the end, that really helps you recover faster because you're not, down at the bottom of the pile trying to work your way all the way up. So that
Yeah.
was really, really
It's a common saying within oncology that that the chemotherapy builds and then you're going to get worse over time. And what I find in my practice is that, like what you're talking about, we're always tweaking and shifting things. It's like, okay, what's popping up now? Okay, let's do this. Let's change this. Let's reduce this. Let's add this. And what I see in my patients is that generally they get better and better through chemo because we're figuring out that rhythm. Because it is a rhythm. It's like, okay, day 3, this happens. Day 7, this happens. And everybody has their own kind of rhythm, but it's not, it's not a mystery. Like I'm going to remove some of that mystery of what that rhythm is and how to work within that. And you don't have to get worse throughout the treatment.
I will say I handled it better. So the probably about halfway through, it's like we kind of hit a stride. And I felt like and it was weird too, because I would get treatments on Friday and then I would spend Saturday and Sunday recovering from it. And then that week, kind of continuing to recover. The next week, the second week in between treatments, my off week, there were a lot of weeks where I actually felt really awesome, like tons of energy, felt really great, felt really normal. And I was like, what the heck? Like, is this even possible? And I think I even said that to you. I was like, I feel really good. Like I have more energy than I did before, treatment even started. And you're like, yep, that can happen. Mm-hmm. And it was totally bizarre. And we kind of got into that rhythm. Now my treatment ended up being shorter than many, many people's. They have 6 months or a couple years or whatever it is. And so we were able to find that like pretty quickly. So I'm sure when you spend more time with someone, it's even has more effect as you kind of progress. So what would be like the main, one of the biggest things that you think you have found that this approach helps people with? Like, is there like a really common or really big side effect that you've really seen people just don't get when they do this process?
I think what I see, and this encompasses a lot of different side effects, what I see is people are able to maintain their life. Mm-hmm. They're able to go to work. They're able to hang out with their kids. They're able to work out. You were working out and exercising. They're able to maintain their life and their lifestyle. And I think that's the scariest part of hearing you have cancer. Oh, and by the way, you're starting chemotherapy. It's like, okay, so basically my whole entire life is going to shut down and I don't know if I'm ever going to be well after this.
Right.
And so it's not any one particular thing. For one person, it could be fatigue. Another person, it could be neuropathy. But it's just that like you can live your life and you can be better. I always say this and people are like, you're legitimately crazy and I don't believe you. But it's like you can actually be better and healthier with cancer treatment than you've been for a long time. I mean, you think about Hodgkin's and hormone imbalance, and like some of your symptoms were probably B-cell flare-ups, and you're chasing. And if you're active and you're trying to figure out what's going on with your health, sometimes it's these low-grade immune issues, these low-grade tumors that are not discernible to our eyes yet, that are creating some of those underlying health issues. So if we can treat that tumor and work on your overall health at the same time, you can feel better than you felt in years.
Yeah, that's totally crazy. And even talking about, how they kind of fly under the radar, it's really fascinating to me how I've learned that like a lot of times cancer develops like 7-10 years prior to diagnosis. And so something has been building in your body for a long time. So you probably have not felt your best for a long time. And so treating it sometimes can make you feel way better as long as you are getting those nutrients and are being able to support your body in that kind of whole world, whole life approach. So I think it's awesome. And I saw your program and I was like, got to tell everybody. So let's let them know like your website, what the duration is, the format, how they can sign up.
Yes. Okay. So, such a great question. So, the website that this is hosted on is called readytoheal.com. And I think that there's a slash. You can see, but I'm so not the tech person on my team.
It's with
But
the
I know,
ready to heal.
yep, it's the number two, heal.com slash, I think it's naturally better with chemo. I would have to check my Instagram to know for sure.
Ready to heal. I think you'll see it if you just do that, so you'll be okay.
Okay. Okay, cool. And so, because I'm in the background doing content creation, like my nose is in the books and like in the research literature right now, you guys, and like other people that I love and trust are making sure the website is up and things like that.
We'll make sure we have a link. We'll make sure.
Yeah. It's 9 weeks long and it is an online program. So we're going to do it through Zoom. It's going to be a video chat. And then if you can't make the live videos, we have a membership site that everything lives in where you'll be able to watch the videos again. You'll be able to download. I'm making a ton of handouts so that you have reference pages to refer back to. And it's a lot of my cheat sheets that I use with patients too, and the cheat sheets that I give to my naturopathic medical students that I'm training in naturopathic oncology as well. So you're basically getting the like inner workings of my brain. I love making charts and logarithms and recipes and things like that.
$37 for that. Yeah. I'll be honest. So take my money.
Right? Yeah. So there's going to be tons of resources, videos, trainings, and because we're doing it live this time, there might be some awkward pauses in between videos because I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, I gotta pause this one, and like so because we want to break it up for you in the membership site. So we'll be talking live for about an hour to an hour and a half, but in the membership site, the videos will be broken into 10, 15, 20-minute segments so that you don't have to get overwhelmed.
Little topics. Yeah, that's great. And then people, if they jump on, this is probably one of the most valuable opportunities you're going to have. It launches December 1st. Is that correct?
Okay, yep, so December 1st.
The first video is December 1st. So if you are interested, you want to make sure you sign up ahead of time, get the dates, put them on your calendar, show up to the video sessions, because if you're able to come, this is the one time she's going to be able to do it live. So a little bit of interaction there, an opportunity to ask questions. And then of course, if you ever want to work with her one-on-one, you have that option as well. But start with this program and just jump in and get as much information as you can, because I can't imagine, like, it's so much value to be able to do that live with you. It's just, I'm so excited about it. Everybody should share this video and share this website, and anybody that has cancer or knows a friend, just share this link and kind of let them know, because that's like, it's literally giving them the gift of life.
And I just want to say thank you to you, because Kylene is doing this just out of the goodness of her heart from her own experience. Like, there's no affiliate program here. She's not making any money off of sharing this with you guys. And that's really rare in this day and age of like digital courses and everything. So I am just really touched with even being able to talk with you all today. And I know that it can really help people. So you might not have cancer, but like the chances of you having a neighbor, a friend, a loved one going through chemo, sitting at Thanksgiving dinner table and running into somebody who's going through their cancer journey is sadly really high. And we can all really help each other out.
Every single person that's watching this now has a $47 gift that they can give that person that can help them through this horrible, difficult phase. And it can make it not horrible. And like I said, it's literally giving them the gift of their life back. So I can't imagine a better gift around this time of year. So thank you, Heather, so much for offering this program. I'm super pumped about it. And I hope everybody jumps on it with the value. I mean, it's such a tremendous value. So thanks so much for sharing it with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, if you want to hop over to Instagram and continue the conversation, we're about to do it over there. So otherwise, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.